Hello everyone, and welcome to Chapter 3 of Transformers Fall of Cybertron.
You've got to hurry, Optimus. The Ark's about to come apart.
Then let's roll out.
My goodness, you're huge.
Optimus, there are 3 warp cannons shelling the Ark. I'm uploading the coordinates to you now.
Metroplex, head for the ruins of Iacon. I'll do my best to keep up.
On my way.
Okay, well, how about that? It turns out that the Autobot Fortress is actually a city-sized transformer known as Metroplex. It does beg the question as to what's happened to all the Transformers who were still inside the fortress when it transformed, though. I mean, presumably there were still people left. Did they all get ejected out like Optimus did, or are they all sort of crushed in there, like when all the gears started grinding, because he changed form and everything? Or maybe they're still inside him, all being rattled about. I don't know. Maybe they're sort of piloting him in a way. Must be pretty shaky inside there, though. Nonetheless, Metroplex, a giant city-sized transformer. Now, of course, we're no stranger to Transformers who are much larger than everyone else. In the previous game, we had Omega Supreme and Trypticon. But Metroplex is a lot bigger. He is the size of a city. Having said that, I'm pretty sure his size changes depending on where he is in the game. I swear he's gotten a bit shorter now. Maybe that's just me, I'm not sure. I mean, Transformers is known for that. The original cartoon, Devastator, changed size from scene to scene. The whole continuity errors and whatnot. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. Maybe it's supposed to be a dig at that. Now I forgot, back here there is a tape cassette, so I'm going to go back and get it. And I just hit a wall because I'm an idiot. Having said that, sometimes it's hard to know when a wall is actually a wall and not just like a physics prop you can crash through.
Ironhide's long. Been fighting this war for so long, sometimes I forget how it started. In the early cycles, Cybertronians knew nothing but the job they were born into. The daily grind of an orderly world. Things seemed to change in the blink of an optic. We evolved as a society, free thinkers. Many of us wanted to be free to explore the cosmos. Others had more sinister designs.
So that's an interesting tape cassette, because it seems to imply that in the long distant past, Transformers were sort of basically automatons without any sentience, and eventually they gained free will and evolved as a society of free thinkers.
Metroplex, I have a visual of the first warp cannon. The bridge ahead is out.
Allow me to assist you, Optimus Prime.
Now, I'm not actually sure if that's true, if they gain sentience later in their evolution, because when I thought about it a bit more afterwards, I kind of realised that he said all they knew about was the daily grind, so I think what he actually meant was maybe that life was just simpler back in the day, and all they had to worry about was work.
Greetings, Orion Pax, Optimus Prime.
Oh, Teletran. Teletran forgot that we were called Optimus Prime and not Orion Pax. Orion Pax was Optimus's name before he became a Prime. I mentioned briefly about the origins of Optimus becoming a Prime in my first video. I basically mentioned that the origin story of how Optimus Prime became a Prime in War for Cybertron had since been retconned. And that is because, since between that game and this game, there has been a few changes in the backstory of the Transformers.
We can't make a dent in it!
I'm still tapped into your targeting computers, Metroplex. If we resync, I can designate targets for you.
Target synchronizing initiated.
Everybody get down! Incoming Decepticon!
Now that's how you make an entrance! Waste them all!
Rocket Trooper is down! Grab his launcher! Alert!
So now we get to fight 3 Leapers at once. Oh boy. Here we go again. Okay, so, as I was saying, there have been some changes in the backstory of Transformers, or more specifically, there have been changes in what is considered the continuity between everything that is Transformers. You see, Hasbro basically decided to make something called the Aligned Continuity, which is basically a single continuity and backstory that all sort of currently running Transformers series would follow. I guess just to make the backstories of everything more simple to understand. What that means is that various Transformers properties, I suppose, are actually all in the same continuity, and that this game is in the same continuity as Transformers Prime, the animated TV show that was on and finished about a year ago, I think. And it's also in the same continuity as Transformers Rescue Bots, the sort of animated TV show specifically aimed at younger children. And it's also in the same continuity as several Transformers comic books.
Target synchronizing at 50%.
It also means that this game, even though it is very much inspired by Generation 1, the original cartoon show, it is not in the same continuity. So the backstories of everything is different, and this is in its own universe. It also means it is not in the same continuity as the live-action movies. And it's funny I should say that, because as of this recording, they are releasing a new Transformers game. Rise of the Darkspark is a new Transformers game which is acting both as a sequel to this game and as a companion game to the new live-action movie Age of Extinction. And what they're doing is they're combining the two universes. They're combining the aligned continuity I just mentioned and the live-action Michael Bay universe, which is all kinds of silly because they're completely separate entities. I've seen some trailers for it, and honestly it doesn't look very good, and that's not just me being down on Michael Bay Transformers.
Target synchronizing completed. Awaiting your coordinates, Optimus Prime.
Metroplex, take out that warp cannon!
Consider it done.
One down, 2 more to go.
Lead the way, Optimus Prime.
Where'd that giant come from?
I should probably mention, earlier there was a big red line that was going across the screen. I activated my power-up then. That was the orbital beacon. The big red line highlights enemies and also increases the damage I deal by 2. So it's pretty useful if I remember to use it.
No Cybertronian who's seen our once great home in its current form need be reminded that our planet is powering down, that our home is dying. So I record this log not for this day and age, but for a future that may well never come to pass. But still, we must hope that one day a future generation will once again know Cybertron only in its resplendent, gleaming, metallic glory. And it is for this generation that we must chronicle the cause and consequence of our planet's decline.
Nucleon charge rifle. This is the game's sniper rifle, but we won't really be needing that. At least not now. Now's not really the good time to use it. There's a part later on where it comes quite in handy, but now's not the time. And yeah, that audio log was just basically them trying to justify why everyone's recording all their thoughts onto tape cassettes. Although it doesn't really explain why they've left them around everywhere, but never mind that. The important thing is we've destroyed 1 warp cannon, and now there are 2 more warp cannons to destroy, and they play out in a somewhat similar fashion.
I don't care where it came from! Shoot it! Hit it with everything you've got! Behind us! It's Optimus Prime!
It is nice to see Decepticons get slaughtered on a large scale. I mean, only after the context of the previous chapter where all the Autobots were dying by the hundreds. And now suddenly Metroplex is on our side, and he basically crushes everyone under the heel of his foot. It's kinda cool. In this area, there's another Moleculon fuse, So a little bit of exploring. Pick it up, then take it to the fuse socket, and it activates a jump pad to reach a secret area. The whole jump pads do sort of remind me of Quake. I know Quake's not the only game to put jump pads in their game, but these hidden areas do sort of remind me of those old 90s shooters like Doom. I know this game plays nothing like Doom. It's very much a modern, like, third-person shooter, but I don't know, it just reminded me of the days when I played Doom and tried to find secrets by humping all the walls.
A young archivist named Orion Pax was the first to sense something was wrong. Working in the Hall of Records, he monitored the same transmissions as everyone else, but he heard so much more. Orion was the first to realize that the gladiator Megatronus had ambitions that far outreached his success in the pits. After being shunned by the High Council, Megatronus created a new identity, and Megatron and his Decepticons were born.
I got a clear shot! It's a mission! Justice.
Well, gotta hand it to you. That was some good work, Metroplex. Okay, so, in the spiral staircase, some more hidden goodies hidden around here. There's that little ammo you can see at the top level, so you can kind of trying to bait you to go up there, and you have to figure out how to get up to that top level. You can see a tape cassette down there, so we'll just explore this spiral staircase a bit. I don't need that. The bottom of the spiral staircase is a bottomless pit though, so don't fall off. It does kind of look like you can survive the fall, but yeah, it's if you go down there, it's game over. I've jumped down here many a time.
Lieutenant, we're pinned down. Cannot proceed to rendezvous. There's a giant marauder laying down a wall of flak. Thing won't let up. Primus! Just lost our flank support. 3 more down. Let's go get these sons of rust buckets.
Yep, I think we get the idea. Everyone's dying. Okay, so here's the jump pad, and we're now on the top part of the spiral staircase where we saw the glowing yellow ammo. But also up here is a blueprint. Ultra Power Core. It's the weird shield that replenishes your ammo while you stay in the shield. It's alright, I suppose. A lot of these power-ups are sort of situational.
Transport 9, we're under heavy fire. I repeat, we are under heavy fire.
I'm not entirely sure how recent these tape cassettes are, because the timescale seems to be all over the place. I think that tape cassette was pretty recent.
We're hit! We're hit! Brace for...
Metroplex, maintain your heading. I'll meet you at the second warp cannon.
Affirmative.
Metroplex, I found some Decepticons who need to be taught a lesson.
So even though Metroplex is still in robot mode, he can still fire off artillery strikes. Because he just has like a million cannons on his shoulders, which is pretty cool. But we're too late to save these Autobots, unfortunately.
Prevent these casualties.
Well, there's nothing I can do for them now. Time to keep driving forwards. Something innately satisfying about running people over.
Metroplex, keep the heat on the Decepticons. I'll check on those Autobots.
Look! It's Optimus Prime!
Optimus! Those marauders have us in a stalemate! I'll deal with them. Metroplex, attack that target!
I'll deal with them. Metroplex, deal with them for me.
Marauder is scrapped!
There's another Marauder, but I have to wait for my artillery strike to recharge. You can take them out with regular guns, but it just takes a lot of ammo and too much time, and it's just easier doing this.
Over here!
Oh, we're done here. You can speak to Warpath, but first let's do a little bit of exploring.
We fight in the name of freedom.
Another orbital beacon, why not? It looks like a crashed ship. Was Warpath on this ship? I don't know. I mean, he was at the nerve center earlier. And
Anything I can use to protect the Autobots.
I guess he was trying to make his way to the Ark, and the ship got destroyed. Now it's at this point that I realise that there is a tape cassette in this area, so I begin trying to look for it, and then I realise it's kind of back at the other crashed ship, so don't worry Warpath, I'm just gonna go over here for a bit. Gotta find me those tape cassettes. No, don't worry. I'm not ignoring you, Warpath, I'm just trying to fulfill some kind of OCD tendency where I have to explore all the nook and crannies of every level to find all the collectibles.
When the Decepticons came, they came with a ferocity no one had seen before. We Autobots weren't fighters. We had no experience in war. We were ill-prepared to face Megatron's legions, gladiators who thrived on destruction and mayhem. If we had any advantage, it was the fact that we felt we were fighting for a truer cause. Freedom.
Right, sorry about that, Warpath. Just had to find the tape cassette. Warpath? I'm here. Hello? I have to stand this side. Okay then.
Warpath, I thought I ordered you to protect the Ark.
Never made it. Who's your big friend?
We can't stay, Warpath. We've got to move on and destroy the last warp cannon.
Optimus, we're low on energon. There's more Decepticons coming in. You leave and...
Optimus, this is Ironhide. The Arc shields are nearly gone. There's not much time left.
Go. We'll cover you.
No, we face them together. Stand tall, Autobots. Here they come.
Okay, you know what's stupid? Like, you can see the warp cannon, and then a little bit to the right is Metroplex standing there, and he won't attack it unless you explicitly tell him to do so using the targeting coordinates. Like, can't you just say to Metroplex, hey Metroplex, see that big purple cannon? Like, over there to your right. If you look at it, do you see that big purple thing that's shooting us? Can you, like, punch it for me? I don't know, maybe Metroplex isn't very smart.
Marauder on the right.
Oh boy, I got an achievement, Carnage in C Major. Now to get that achievement you need to destroy 5 Decepticons in a single airstrike, which is fair. Now, the name Carnage in C Major is kind of funny because, well, a lot of the achievements are sort of named after episodes of the original cartoon show. And the episode Carnage in C Minor was like an episode in Season 3. And it's one of the most notorious episodes in the entire series because of how awful it was. It was one of the worst. There were so many animation errors and continuity errors. It is hilarious if you watch it. Because there are so many things you see in it, and you just leaves you scratching your head, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, how hard were they working these poor Korean studios to get animation this bad? I'll post a clip of the episode in the YouTube description because it's just hilarious to watch. Anyway, as you might notice, I have the big red line going across my screen again. I've activated the orbital beacon again. You can see the crosshair has a ×2 marker on it. It shows that I have double damage. And the big red line highlights enemies. You can see enemies have this big sort of purple arrow pointing down on them.
They're retreating.
Incoming! They're shelling the plaza!
It's coming from that warp cannon. I need to get closer to target it.
I'll cover you, Prime!
Stay away from the warp cannon's targeting beacon!
Inside! Everybody inside!
Alright, it's time to roll out! Haha!
Get the cover, Prime!
Okay, I might have underestimated the enemy's chances. Time to get back to cover and... oh. Okay, I think my problem is I'm too eager to rush in headfirst into danger. I'm also too eager to run people over in truck mode, and I think that's probably one of the biggest faults I have, as you can see here, because I don't learn from my lesson. It is fun to run people over, and I always try to do it whenever I have the opportunity, but Yeah. I think the problem is, not all the level is designed with this in mind. This level's actually alright. It's actually a big open area where you can drive around enough, and there's no chest-high walls. There's cover, there's pillars and stuff, but no chest-high walls to obstruct your car. Even so, if you can't run people over, as you can see here, Optimus Prime's truck rockets are still a perfectly viable weapon to use in their own right. So it is a valid strategy to transform into vehicle mode rather, purely to use your vehicle mode weapons. It's also good if you run out of ammo for your main guns, just transform into a car and then use the guns that are on your car because they use separate ammo counts.
Well, that was fun. Another loop around the plaza? Anybody? Use some help moving this, Optimus.
Let's do it together.
Heavier than it looks!
Well, then your path. Move forward, and keep your optics open for more Decepticons. That's as much mercy as I can give.
Still can't believe that Metroplex can't just go for the warp cannon right now. It's right there. You can't even mark it until all the enemies are dead. It's just some kind of arbitrary thing that just stops you from targeting it straight away. Oh, and look over there, a shotgun guy at a distance. Therefore he is completely harmless because he can do nothing to you at a distance. Oh, okay.
He's around here somewhere!
There's an enemy left, apparently. Oh, there he is, hiding behind a corner.
You close enough to mark that warp cannon?
And only now does the game let me blow it up.
Metroplex, take it out.
Why, Primus?
Where'd you find this guy?
There's still one warp cannon left. I must reach it before it destroys the Ark.
Then let's roll out!
Negative warpath. See to your soldiers. Metroplex and I can handle the rest.
Oh, him. Sure, yeah. I guess he's big enough to handle it.
I'll start looking around here because I know that there is a tape cassette somewhere else in this level. It's somewhat deviously hidden, like many other tape cassettes in the game. Where is it? I can hear it. Oh, here it is. Lodged in the back of this giant head.
Charged with being the last line of defense for Iacon, the Autobot's capital, and guarding the gateway to Cybertron's core, Omega Supreme was considered unstoppable in battle, relentless in his mission, and fearless in the face of danger. When Megatron and Omega Supreme faced off for the final time, Megatron and his Decepticons managed to open just a small chink in Omega's armored chest plate. Megatron poured dark energon through this seemingly innocuous wound. Even the greatest of warriors could not combat the terrible corruptive power of the wicked substance, and after a valiant struggle, Omega Supreme fell into stasis.
Now this confused me a bit, because if you look at that giant head, it is Omega Supreme's head, or at least it's the same model. So I'm not sure if that's actually supposed to be Omega Supreme, or if that's just a statue of him that happened to fall over. Because in the previous game, War for Cybertron, you played as Megatron and you defeated Omega Supreme. But then, as the Autobot campaign, you rescued Omega Supreme again. So, I don't know. Unless that was retconned as well, it's hard to keep up with the whole complex canon that is the aligned continuity. I don't know. I mean, when you have so many different forms of media, like video games, TV shows, and comic books, all encompassing the same continuity, there are going to be discrepancies, no matter how hard you try. It's like Star Wars, the extended universe is massive, and you're going to get contradictions here and there, no matter what. That's probably why LucasArts went out and said that the extended universe is no longer canon, which makes sense because you... Uh-oh.
Gosh, we've got Optimus cornered!
Thanks for the assist, Metroplex.
You are most welcome.
Quite literally a helping hand. You can stop staring at me now, thank you. Okay, bye. What was I talking about before that socially awkward interaction? Oh yes. Yeah, it's probably a good idea not to stay focused too much on the continuity and canon of things, you know. If you spend too much time worrying about that, you can't enjoy it. It's probably why Doctor Who is so popular, because it can get away with continuity errors. If it ever needs to retcon something, it can just go wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
As civil war spread like a storm of burning energon across the surface of Cybertron, devouring in its path the great city of Iacon, even I was caught off guard by the depth of Megatron's depravity. I should have anticipated his utter lack of feeling for his fellow Cybertronians. But at the expense of the lives of many thousands of my fellow Autobots, I did not.
What the? There's a bird up there.
Soundwave superior. Autobots inferior.
You know, Soundwave could be a better spy if he didn't let his bird give him away all the time.
There. The last warp cannon. I'll need to get closer to mark it.
And I'll need to get closer to actually shoot these guys, because I can't really hit them from here. Then have a sniper rifle. Well, time to get that last warp cannon. Let's roll out.
Do you even understand how guns work? Are your optics even turned on?
There's a rather cranky Decepticon out there yelling taunts from a distance.
Optimus! The Marauder has us pinned down!
We'll take him together. Follow me.
If by deal with it together you mean let Metroplex deal with it, then yeah, sure. So yeah, this is the other power-up, it's a shield. It's a one-way shield, so you can... Oh, shotgun guys, I should have stayed behind the shield. Yeah, when you're behind the shield, enemies can't hit you, but you can shoot them. It's like a one-way shield, so it's quite useful. Oh, okay. I get my minigun out and activate my double damage buff, and an Autobot throws a grenade and kills everyone before I can.
Bridge is clear! Go get him, Optimus!
Metroplex, I've marked the final warp cannon. Let's finish it.
Yes, Prime.
Metroplex, no!
Optimus! The arc shields are down! It's about to get torn apart!
Metroplex is down. I'll have to finish it myself.
I'll send backup!
There's no time.
Now, if Metroplex was capable of thinking for himself and destroying the warp cannon on his own, rather than waiting for Optimus to point the laser beam at the warp cannon to specify exactly where it is, then this wouldn't have happened.
Optimus! We need that!
Ironhide! Ironhide!
Oh well, you know what they say. You want something done, you have to do it yourself. With or without a giant colossal-sized robot.
You don't!
Hey, I clearly hit Starscream and he didn't take any damage. He's clearly hacking.
Lights out!
I'm gonna report you.
Optimus, do you read me? If you read me, the Ark is going critical. You need to act fast.
We enjoy our nap.
Bro, he's coming too.
Stay down!
Megatron! Look what I found.
Optimus Prime. That is what they call you now, isn't it? Megatron.
Funny, isn't it, Megatron? How easily I defeated the one adversary you couldn't.
Silence! You didn't have to come to this. This is what you chose, Prime, when you defied me. All of this is your doing. Optimus! Megatron, stop. I'll stop when all of you are dead.
No!
This is needless. All we want is to leave. Charge up the warp cannon. Wipe their precious Ark off the face of Cybertron. Yes, sir! No one leaves without my permission. I wasn't asking. Always defiant to the end, aren't you, Prime? At every turn, you have thwarted my efforts to save this planet, to return it to its former glory. No more! This day it all ends, Prime! Once and for all!
Megatron, look out!
Stop running, you fool! Stand and fight!
One more for luck.
Leave. Now.
Decepticons! Megatron has perished, betrayed by his foolish pride. I, Starscream, am your leader now. Decepticons, return to base!
Now that's a sight my optics have longed to see for some time.
Enjoy the moment. It may have cost us our future.
No. You mean all the energon we saved for the Ark is gone?
There's barely enough left to last a megacycle. We need to find more energon, and quickly. I have a hunch Grimlock may know where to start.
Grimlock? He deserted us.
He left his post for a reason. I want to know why. Jazz and Cliffjumper are tracking him now.
What a fantastic ending sequence. Anyway, that does it for Chapter 3. See you guys next time for Chapter 4.